if you are seeing everything twice, like I do, then it's not because this is water instead of coffee, but it's because of a really interesting and also challenging suggestion I got from one of my German viewers, and I want to try something today. And for that, I need this twice. I have printed this page from my Halloween in August paper collection again. Another print, as you can see, is already bound in my journal here, but for the idea, I need this twice. That's the good thing about digital paper. You can print the whole stuff as often as you want or as you need it. And I want to try something today. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest, because that is something I have never done before. Hi, this is Luise Heinzel. Thank you very much for joining me today. A quick little thing, a little information. If you have missed the previous videos about this journal, or if you are new to my channel, this is my Halloween in August junk journal. I crafted this with my Halloween in August paper collection, which you can find in my shop. The links are down below in the description box. In this paper collection, you can find some junk journal pages, like these full pages, and also ephemera. And the whole thing is also available as a kit, so that you get everything in one item if you want, meaning the pages and the ephemera. I had a paper premiere on YouTube where I have shown you this journal a little bit more in detail. The video is still available. It is also linked down below this video. And there you can learn a little bit more about the idea behind this journal and behind the paper collection. This paper collection combines the themes Halloween and summer in one thing. And I find that really interesting. I have never done something like this before, but I'm so in love with these colors and this combination of both of those themes. When I flip through this journal, I'm in a totally different world, and that makes me just so happy. And there have been so many people already who have said, that is a cool idea. I am really thankful for that. I'm always so happy when you like what I do and what I put into my shop, because, you know, I work with these papers and that makes me happy. And if you are happy with those papers and want to work with them as well, then I'm even more happy. That is a really cool thing. So yeah, you can find everything down below in the description box. And today, let's talk about, where's the page now? Let's talk about this. So there was a suggestion from one of my German viewers, and she said, what if I go to your Etsy shop or to another shop where you can buy digital printable paper, and I see something where I perhaps like the sunflowers. I make this like a constructed example for this paper collection so that you can better understand what I'm talking about. What if I, for example, like these black trees and the sunflowers and perhaps these little flowers here, but perhaps there are some things that are scary to me. For example, this, perhaps this looks a little too scary to me. What can I do then? I mean, if you don't like anything of the paper collection, you probably would not buy it, yeah? But what if there are characters which you don't like they are, but you like some elements on the pages? Is there a way, are there perhaps some ideas how you could change such a character and turn it into your very own, turn it into something that you then like? And that is, I don't know if I want to say that is what I say now is more important to me, but it is somehow important, because when I create a digital paper collection, then I, of course, want you to turn that into your own. And if you take this and put that into your journal, everything I do here is about turning that into your own journal, that it makes you happy and satisfied. That is the main goal. I mean, why am I sitting here? Yeah, that is my main goal. But how can you do that? What if you don't like the facial expression of this? Can you then do something? And how? Yeah, so that is what we want to try today. I have this page here in my journal, and the first thing that I want to do is I want to coat this with a little bit of clear gesso, because I think no matter what we are going to do on this page, it's always a good idea to seal that so that we have the most possible amount of possibilities. I don't know how I can say that, which mediums we want to use here. This looks a little chalky at the moment, but when this is dry, then it gets totally clear. And it has a little bit of grit, so that, for example, the watercolor pencils, which I want to use later on as well, grab a little better. So we are going to let this dry. And while we are going to let this dry, we take this and then let's decide what we could do to such a character. First of all, I want to take some black acrylic paint because I want to keep things easy today. And I want to make my own life really easy as well. I do that mainly because I have never done something like this before, except for my German video, which goes online at the same time like this video does. So I have already recorded the German video, but that was the first time I did this whole thing. So I think when you do something for the second time, it can be the first time as well. But that's also because this is not the same page like in the German video, yeah? So if you want to see a variation of this idea, you can watch the German video and see another page I have used for this idea, and with that another character. So I want to keep my life really easy, and I want to turn him into something totally different. I don't want to stress myself in this moment with thinking about, is he too cute? And do I want to have him more scary, for example? Or if I have a character which is really scary, do I want to have him more cute? I don't want to think about those, features he gets. I just want to think about, I want to change him, no matter how. I just want to change him. And I think that is a good idea. I will start painting the jacket here. I think that is a good idea to start if you have something like this, which you have never done before. Because if you think about too many things, like for example, how can I get him cuter? Or how can I get him more scary? Then you perhaps are thinking too much. That sounds so weird. But I mean, that would be the fact for myself. Yeah, if I have not done something like this before, I prefer to start with very easy things. And then when I like this and what I get, then I can always do another page with the same idea. Why is this so translucent? I think my brush is a little bit too wet. I can try this then a second time and go a step further and then think about how the character shall look in the end. Do you know what I mean? But in the first moment, I want to have this really, really simple. So I want to try to make this jacket black. I want to leave this white stuff here. Perhaps we can make a cool thing out of this. I don't know where this will lead me. I don't know what this is, what I'm painting here, but that doesn't matter. I just do what I think looks good. I think I want to leave this part of the jacket like it is because I really like that. And if I leave this, it probably makes sense to leave this here on the sleeve as well. I think we are already done with the jacket. So let's dry this. And then let's think about how we can get some black, sorry, this is already black, some white things to this. So I thought perhaps we can just take a white pen and do some outlines. You could also do some doodling, for example, on the jacket. I am already thinking about something like that here because this area looks a little bit weird. I'm going to take a white Uni Posca pen. This is the one with 0.7 millimeters tip width. Is that English? I don't know. So I want to How do I want to have this? I want to go along here, just along the sleeve. And yes, here a part of the hand, here you can see the fingers, but the rest of the hand is behind this stuff here. We will find a solution for that in a second. But let's first bring a little bit more interest to this jacket. And I learned that it's good to not think about this while you are doing this. Who is telling you that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that is good. Shall we do this line as well? No, I don't think so. But what I want to have here is something like a really abstract flower. Can you see? I'm going into this white line here, yeah, this shape here with the petals of this flower. I think that could look great to fill this area up like this. And oh, I like that. Can we do a second one somewhere? And now let's cut this out. So first I will go along this white line, and in this step I can also control how thick I want to have this white line. If it seems to be too thick, then I can cut a little bit off, and then I think I'm sorry, little guy. Let's do it like this. I like to do that so that I mean cut his head off so that I have a better imagination of only this piece. And I think, what is better? Shall we cut this off or shall we leave it there? I think I want to try something. So let's try to get this part of the jacket layered to our page so that it nearly looks like we had a die cut or something. So for that, let's just cut a shape somehow. I think it really doesn't matter how the shape looks, just like this, off. Can you see? Now this part will go and this part will stay, and also this will go, this little piece, and I think that can look really interesting in the end. So let me quickly cut this out so that when we then take this and put this on here and line that up exactly like it was here on the original piece, then we have this layered look here. You can't see that so well in the camera, I guess, but when we glue this later down, then it feels like you had a die cut or something on here, and that makes it of course really interesting when we have different layers here. So now let's think about this part here, because cutting this hand out could be a problem. I mean, fuzzy cutting is not my cup of tea, so let's make our life really easy. And let's do the layering here as well. Let's just cut along the jacket here. Let's then just cut this off so that we only have this piece here. Let's then cut around this flower here. So I'm trying to find a nice shape for this piece. If you don't have flowers here, you could also tear it, just tear it off here. That can look really interesting as well. And then you can also get a really nice torn edge, which could look interesting. And that adds to the interest of the whole page, I would say. So here I've just connected this, yeah, with the cutting. I think that looks good. Here I will also cut along this thing and just along my line I made before. What shall we do with this area? I think we have to cut this here in the shape of the flowers as well. I think that looks the best. Yes, I think that I like that really, really much, but I think we can make that even more interesting by using a special kind of die cut. I have this thing in mind. This is a set where you can cut something out from a page without cutting the shape. Meaning, if you would take this die cut, or one of the others, and put that to your piece, it will cut these little holes, but it doesn't cut an outline. So you can take this and cut into a page or a piece like this wherever you want without having everything falling apart. This set by Zizix and Tim Holtz has the number 660220, and I want to try. I'm really excited if that can work, to take this, and because here where I have my flowers, this looks a little bit weird to me, and also here it looks a little bit weird. So I want to try to take this and cut in here somehow so that I get these holes and make this edge more interesting also here. The second reason for using this is when I put this on here and I look to this, I can see that we have now here a really opaque and solid area. We did this, of course, we want to change this character, but I think it can add to the interest of the result if we see parts of the print below. So if we have holes in here, we can see through that, and perhaps that can look interesting. So here I am back, and I think this is just perfect. This looks so cool when it's cut. If you don't have this die cut or such a die cut which can cut something like this, don't freak your freak, just go and buy it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You don't need this die cut to be happy with your page in the end. You can of course also take something like this, just a simple hole punch, and make some holes into the shape you have. I'm just I mean, that can look great as well. You could even take fire and burn holes in here so that you get this irregular look. I'm just realizing that my Posca pen was not totally dry. Can you see this little smear here? That is really great because that is some grunge which I got accidentally with cutting this, because my plate from the die cut machine obviously made this because that was not completely dry. I'm so in love with this. That looks so cool already, and because of that we are going to take this and just glue this down. In the camera it's really hard to see because it's so matchy color wise, but in reality this looks really cool. I mean, I'm hoping that it looks a little bit cool in the camera as well. So what can we do next? I think we should talk about the face next. I want to I'm a little bit afraid. I want to take, what do I want to take? I want to take some white gesso. This is a really cheap white gesso. I bought it in a shop called Action. Perhaps you know that shop. I like this gesso for this idea because this is not totally opaque with the first layer. And that is good because then we can control better what we want to do. If you don't have such a gesso, you could also take one which is like more higher quality and mix that with some water, or just take some white acrylic paint and mix that with a lot of water so that you get a translucent layer of that. Of course you could take another color. Yeah, I want to have white here in this case because I want to have this black and white theme on this page. And as I said in the beginning, I want to make my life really easy, and that's why I take these colors, black and white, instead of beige or whatever you could use for such a face. Or I mean, you could make him green, turn him into an alien or whatever. I do this because I want to have the I'm sorry, the proportion of the face. I want to see where the eyes and the mouth and that is, because then I have an orientation for my new face. Not my face, but the face of this character. Yeah, so I want to use what I already have on the print as an orientation. And with the translucency of this gesso, I have a really easy job, because now, as you can see, I can still see it, but I can also paint over it. I think I need a second layer here, because this is still really extremely visible. But that is the good thing about this gesso mixed with water, because then you can control how much you want to see underneath this layer. If you are a professional face painter, if you can draw or whatever faces, then you probably don't need this, but I need that because I can't draw a face like free-handed. I can't do that. So then I want to take a black pen. I want to use this Stabilo, this Stabilo All pen. It's a water-soluble pen. I need a, what's this thing called? Pencil sharpener, because I want to have this pretty sharp. And then let's think about the eyes first. I already experienced that eyes are obviously not my favorite thing to do, but I will try it again here. In the German video I already tried it. It was a fail, an absolute fail. And I found a solution, but let's see. I don't know what this is, but we do it like so, perhaps like this. Can you see the lines here and where they end? Can we perhaps turn that into teeth? So by going along here, just like this, and connecting the these little lines. Do you know what I mean? Just like this. And then, can we then do it like this and like this, and then go pretty close along the outline of the face, so that the mouth can be really big and that it looks like opened. And now I can use these little lines to make the teeth, because I can just follow the lines just like this. Can you see? This looks a little rectangular, so we can shape the teeth a little bit just by making them a little bit round here on the bottom. What if we had this, what we already have here and what we still can see through the gesso? What if this was just gray, so that we cover this up? We could even change the shape of this eye. Just go over this with nearly no pressure, so that this gets really light here as well. Let's try to take some water on a brush. Somehow I have the feeling that I need a schnapps before, but I don't have schnapps. I take some water. So let's make this brush a little bit wet. This is a water brush. Why is here no water in the brush? I don't know. Oh my goodness, this is way too dark. But we don't freak our freaks. We just take this off. Oh my goodness, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So here we go. My camera just decided to stop recording because it's obviously too warm in the room here. I'm hoping that you could follow what I'm doing here. So here, where the teeth are, I also want to go in with the tiniest bit of water. I'm activating the pencil with the water so that it gets really, really, really dark. The page has a lot of brown here in the background, so I thought we can perhaps add a little bit of brown to the eyebrows here. I have frayed burlap and ground espresso watercolor pencil here. So this is the watercolor pencil by Ranger and Tim Holtz. I take I take ground espresso first. Just go in here, do something like this. Then let's take frayed burlap. Let's add a little bit here. I wish I knew something about doing makeup because then this would probably be pretty easy. I don't know if that is good, but let's see. And now I make this wet and try to go into all of these colors, meaning the black, the brown, and the, you know, frayed burlap. What is that? It's frayed burlap, isn't it? What is that? It's somehow a brown as well, but frayed burlap to me is somehow, a color by itself. I can't say it's brown because for me it's just, you know, it's frayed burlap. It's not brown. This is a little bit too dark. Oh no, I used too much of the black pencil. But perhaps we can do something that happened to me in the German video accidentally. There I went along here and then I don't know the English word for what happened there, but I made a little mistake and then suddenly the pigment went somewhere like here, and I then did it on purpose. So let's try this here as well, and let's let this run somehow, even if that then gets somehow, not so realistic anymore, but that doesn't matter. This is art. So let's dry this so that it stays there, and we can then do the same thing on the other eye. Try to do it like this. I want to have something here. Don't ask me why. I think it could look great if there's something here. Don't know how much we will see that when it's dry, but we will just see what we get when this is completely dry. Weird, a little bit weird. I don't like the teeth so much yet, but perhaps we can, where is my thing here now? Perhaps we can go in here with the frayed burlap pencil as well and just make them a little dirty. And perhaps I should go in with my brush here as well so that I get the same look like here. Okay, I don't like this. I really don't like this. But we will go on. We will find a solution for that in a second. Let's make some pupils. Let's do it like this. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. And now somehow the mouth is not so bad anymore. That is weird. Why do I see it so differently now? That is fascinating. Let's add a little bit of light to the eyes with the Posca pen to see if he then comes to life even more, and I think so. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's blend the nose a little bit as well. Shall we let that run to the left also as well, so that we get a little bit of this watercolor look here where the nose is as well. I really like this here on the forehead. And perhaps we can even, let's try something. Let's take a little bit of the frayed burlap and put that here. Just the tiniest little bit, and then let's take more water. And let's let that run here so that he gets an irregular thing here. Oh, yes. I think I wanna leave it like that, but here let's add a little bit more black to get his eyebrow a little bit better into shape, and also here. And what about his head and the hair? Shall we give him something on his head, like a hat, for example? So I have taken out this stamp set by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. The name is distinguished. I'm sorry. CMS 371. I want to use this from the printable to stamp the head on, because here I think we have the possibility to decide about a cool color, because we have already everything here color wise. Shall we stamp in black? I think so. Let's try that with some archival ink black suit. And I want to try to get a little bit of the orange from the sunflower to the head. Yeah, the details, they don't come out so well here. No. Sorry. Let's take another one. Let's take this one. And let's try that again, because I want to have this yellow on the head. And I think this is not the perfect stamp for that. I mean, that doesn't mean that the stamp can't work here. Yeah, but I think it does work for me here at the moment. Oh, I have to dry this. But I will cut both out so that we then can compare that, because sometimes it's also that you think, I don't like what I have stamped, and once you have cut it out, oh my goodness, I have just cut a piece off. Oh my goodness. Once you have cut it out, you change your mind. Yeah, I don't like it. And do you know why? Because it has not enough contrast here. The page is pretty dark. And I think we need something that has more black. Also here with our black jacket and this idea of having mainly black and white, it's better to have this one. And here my plan worked to get the tiniest bit of this orange here. And this also makes this somehow colored now, so I can save my time for taking pencils or something and coloring this head just by stamping it to the digital paper. And look, I hope that you can see that here, the frayed burlap and this orange with the black on top, that is nearly the same color now, and I really like that. That is really good, but it is a little bit too big. I think I don't want to have it that it peeks out from the page. That could be a solution, or this. Nope, I like it better when it's just like this. So what about this here? I think I want to add a real button here, so I will search for one which is small enough to put on here so that we can still see this round thing from the print. I found this one. I think this can work if we do it like so, then we can still see a little bit of this detail from the print. And I also want to have a little bit of something there, just the the tiniest piece of lace. Like this, so that we can still see this little round thing. Ooh. And now we have the print. I mean, this round thing on the print, the lace, and then the button. Somehow this is now like a little cluster, isn't it? In the easiest way we can imagine. But this adds so much to the page, I think, and I love it when you can touch these little things. If you don't have a real button, you could also, of course, take a little round piece of paper and, you know, put some holes in there and then glue that down. Looks like a button as well. Then, shall we give him somehow a flower into his hand? Because he looks like he holds a flower. And perhaps with both of these flowers, we can have a third one, which is over here. But how can we manage that? This phone is driving me crazy. It's just stopping recording every 30 minutes or so because it says it's too hot. The only solution is a piece of cold pizza. Do not freak out. Oh my goodness, I hope that I can finish this now and show you what I came up with. I have this set, die cut set by Zizix and Tim Holtz. The number is 663087. Now it's doing weird stuff again, so I have to stand up to see what you see. I'm so sorry. I try my best to show you what I thought and to finish this. The die cut cuts 3 pieces. Here on the example, this turquoise one, the red one, and the yellow one, so that you can layer that. I thought that is a good idea to get some more dimension. So when you cut it, you have this to put on here, and this to put on here. And when I cut that out, I was like, okay, I use this. But then I came to the idea to place the die cut on his eye. Can you see? So this came out from here, so that I now have the eye from the digital paper as the center of the flower. And when I just see this was not planned, I just see it. Look, imagine you had the full page and you cut the flower out. Oh my goodness, how cool is that? And either put it back in there like so. Oh my goodness, I have to do that. Either put it back in there like so, or rotate it somehow. Look how cool that looks. I mean, you could even take this and put it back here. Oh my goodness. How cool is that? Even, I think, even if you have painted your whole own face, it could look really cool to just put something like this back on there. How cool is that? So that he has two different eyes. Do we want that here? Because originally I had planned to take this now. I'm so sorry. And put that here without attaching both of these pieces. Normally, I mean, it's meant to do it like this and then like this. Also looks great. But what if? That is such a hard decision now. Do I want to cover up what I have painted there a second ago? Yes, I want that. I definitely want that. And another thing I want to do is, I want to take because I still want a flower here. I want this, to take this and put it here. But you can now see that this shape and this shape is exactly the same. Yeah, what else shall it be? It's made with the same die cut. But I don't want that. Let's manipulate this. Let's take this and cut this off. And if you don't have die cuts, of course you could cut this with scissors. Just cut a flower with scissors. That is also possible, of course. Now we have this here. We need something like a stem, which is in his hands then. But I like this really much. This is so cool. Oh my goodness, I haven't expected something like this. Okay, do we need white splatters? I think so. So I hope this is an idea for you as well. Perhaps you want to try this out. Let me know if you have tried it out and if you liked it. And if you want to check out my Halloween in August paper collection, you can of course find the links down below in the description box. The link to the paper premiere replay is also in the description box if you want to watch that, if you perhaps have missed it. And yeah, happy creating, happy Halloween, and have a great summer at the same time. Bye bye.